The Galaxy S10 trio of devices is one of the most highly anticipated devices of the year, with their not-a-notch camera cutouts in the front to their massive screens on their very, very small bodies. Now, I personally didn't like the Galaxy S10 Plus. I'm not a fan of that dual cutout for really no good reason, and curved screens aren't really my fancy. So when I heard the Galaxy S10e was coming with a flat display, I couldn't help myself but pick it up, and in Flamingo Pink, one of the weirdest colors that Samsung's announced in years. So let's go ahead, unbox it, and get our initial hands-on of the Galaxy S10e in Flamingo Pink. Now, I have actually gone ahead and opened this package up already, and I've been using the device for a few days to get some thoughts that I'll be talking about here in a few moments. But we're going to go ahead and open it up, see what comes in the box, especially for the T-Mobile variant, and let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you'll notice as we go ahead and lift this off is this packet here used to be underneath the phone, but now actually is on top of the phone. Sometimes it gets stuck in this lid. This is actually the first time that it's come out. But it has things like your SIM removal tool, all that kind of fun stuff, all your books and pamphlets and all of that inside of there, or inside of this packet. So we can just go ahead and toss that off to the side there. And put the lid off to the side here as well. And so here is our device. So we're going to go ahead and pull this off since it has the IMEI numbers on the back of this piece of paper. And turning it over. So there is the Coral Pink Galaxy S10e. And, looking at what it looks like in my reference monitor, it's different than what it looks like on the, in life. This is a very peachy color. There are some situations where I've actually seen it orange, and this frame right here is a very rose gold pink frame. I'm not 100% sure how the camera is going to be picking that up and how exactly it's going to be looking, but this is a very, very pink frame on this phone. It's a little bit pinker than I was hoping. I was hoping for something a little bit more gold than, the sharp rose gold that it has, but we'll be looking at this again in just a few moments. I'm going to sit that off the side here. So, of course, T-Mobile gives you your SIM card. And here is the power adapter, and like a lot of people have been saying, this is a matte power adapter, and there's also no plastic wrapped around it, which is kind of interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and sit that off on the side there. Samsung also includes, and still includes, their USB-C to USB-A adapter. They're one of the few manufacturers that still includes that in the box. I have a bunch of these sitting on the side, and this is really useful to have if you're transferring devices over or anything like that. It's just a nice little feature to have. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this open here, and here is our USB-C power cable. Again, this is USB-A to USB-C. Samsung still has not switched off of their old charging blocks, and even though this is a new travel adapter, it looks like it's kind of bright on the screen there, but this is still the old adaptive fast charging brick, so this isn't anything special. I do believe with the black one you do get black charging cables and power brick there. So we'll go ahead and open this up, and these are white AKG headphones that come with this particular device. This is in contrast to the black ones that we have seen in past, and I think the black devices might come with black headphones, or like the navy ones that we got in prior years, but this is what they're shipping out here with the rose gold model. Go ahead and open this up. And again, so it's just the standard AKG tuned headphones. It looks like they're a slight redesign from what they've given us into the past. You've got your buttons here for audio controls, and it's a 3.5mm jack. So, because this device does have a 3.5mm hole. So, you've got that headphone jack, and it works with other devices as well, which is convenient. You've also got 4 different adapters here. So it comes with 3 different sizes. So you've got, it looks like the mediums are on there now, you've got small, and you've got large to make it more comfortable for you. I'm not 100% sure if Samsung did that in the past, but that's definitely something that they're doing here now with the S10s. So again, so here's the Coral Pink S10. We're going to go ahead and power it on. And again, like I said, I've been using this device. It's, got it set up, got some initial thoughts that I'll be talking about as we're looking over the device. And again, just really the striking color is this, it's almost a coppery rose gold color on the sides. And that does go around the camera band here. The camera band is more of a copperish color on an off angle. It almost looks like it matches the back in certain lights, and that sometimes is the difficulty that you get when you're trying to match plastic with glass. The colors are never going to match fully. So it looks like Samsung, instead of going with something that matched somewhat, they went with something that matches not at all, but is a contrasting color and more accents the side of the phone than the back. So it's good on them to do that. You know, I think OnePlus did that with the OnePlus 6, with especially the red model. The fingerprint sensor never looked like the back of the phone, even though you could see that they were trying to. So this is definitely a better way to go. Just make it an accent color and not try to match the back. Something that I do notice here, I'm not sure if the camera picks it up, but we do actually have the CE labels and all that kind of stuff located underneath the branding on the back, and that's something that Samsung hadn't done for a little while. It seems like it comes and goes with their particular devices. So kind of giving a quick walk around of the device, we've got our volume rocker here, our Bixby button, and on the E we have this side fingerprint sensor and power button. So this is both. It's not like on the Sony's for this year where they're going to have a power button and a fingerprint sensor that doesn't have any kind of a power function. This is a dual switch there, and it actually operates to pull down the notification shade as well, so that's pretty neat. Down on the bottom, just like all Samsungs in the past, we've got our speaker grill, microphone, USB-C port, and we have our headphone jack. And up at the top, we've got a microphone, antenna band, and our multi-purpose SIM tray, which has a SIM tray and a micro SD slot in it. So again, I've already unlocked it, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this off so I can get this thing unlocked and go to my home screen here. Now I'm running Nova Launcher, so again, this is, you know, a different launcher than what Samsung launches with. I never really use the stock launcher very long. I like to have my apps, I like to have my setup. So that's what I've got here is Nova Launcher, and I just pretty much restore it through every device. So you can see the, go ahead and turn that off. You can see here the cutout for the camera. And this is probably my biggest complaint about this particular device in the short time that I've been using it, is that cutout is sizable. And it's not just the cutout. Let me go ahead and get rid of this here. It's not just the cutout. It's how large the status bar gets. You can see it's a considerable height there. It reminds me a lot of the Essential phone. And again, another problem is it's not centered. You know, you can see that there's more on the top than on the bottom of the status bar. So that really bothers me, is how that looks. And then you've got this off-centered, you know, status bar widgets there. It's just not, you know, a thing that I'm a fan of. It really bugs me, a lot like the Essential phone did. You know, I've got the gesture controls here, which is awesome on this small body and the small form factor. It really just looks amazing. And again, here's the fingerprint sensor, and if we swipe down on it, you can see the notifications pull down and go back up. You can also use it if you're using the stock launcher. You can use it for Samsung Pay as well. So we're going to go ahead and just turn off that screen there. We're going to compare it to a couple other devices that we've got. So here I've got last year's Galaxy S9, and you know, this year the Galaxy S9 really went up in size. So the E is actually really comparable with, match those up there with last year's Galaxy S9. It's just a hair shorter. As far as width goes, they're both pretty much exactly the same, and thickness, they're both about the same as well. You know, but you do have the curved display on here, whereas you don't have it on this particular model. And again, keep in mind though that you know, these are the same size displays. You know, so you can see just how much space the new system saves with this new cutout, even if it's not, you know, my favorite thing in the world. It does, you know, you can't argue about how much space is saved on the display, or on the front of the phone, giving you a shorter device. It really does improve that. And if you look really closely, you can see the earpiece up there. This doesn't have a notification light, unfortunately. It's just the earpiece there. And you can actually see on one of the teardowns, the proximity sensor and such is right next to that camera, but actually beneath the glass and beneath the display, which is pretty cool. That's something they've been doing on smartwatches for quite some time. So again, here's what it looks like to the Galaxy S9. They're both so similar. You know, but this feels really good in your hand. If you've held an LG device, that is what this Samsung feels like. You know, flat back, flat sides, just really nice, whereas this has that sharp edginess that, you know, Samsungs have. So comparing it against, here's the Pixel 2. I just brought this out for comparison, really for the screen aspect ratio. You know, you can see how far we've come in just a few years. you know, from 16 by 9 to 18 by 9 to now 19 by 9. So it's a shorter device, and you're getting so much more screen than you ever got on the small Pixel. And again, that's the 16 by 9 there. And then here is what I think is going to end up being the Galaxy S10e's biggest competitor, the small Google Pixel 3. These two are so close to each other. You know, as far as width, I think the Galaxy is just a hair thinner or narrower. As far as height goes, the Pixel, again, is just a hair taller. The Pixel is actually lighter in the hand than the Galaxy is, or at least feels it the way that it's balanced. And they're both very close, 5.5-inch display at 18 by 9, and this is again a 5.8-inch display at 19 by 9. So let's go ahead and swipe up there, and I'll unlock this. And again, you can see just how they use the bezels differently. You know, Samsung has pretty much no bezel, although there's a larger chin than there is a forehead. That does kind of bug me a little bit, but you can see just how much of a forehead and a chin the Pixel 3 does have. It really looks outdated when you're comparing it. You know, I mean, screen cutout aside, this is one of the best form factor devices I've ever seen. It's just very, very good in the hand, very good size. It doesn't feel like, it feels like the future almost, especially when you're comparing it against the Pixel, because this is so much screen in such a small package. So again, I'm going to be comparing these two devices pretty considerably, a camera comparison as well as a full look, you know, between these two phones. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on the side. So again, this has been the Galaxy S10e in Flamingo Pink from T-Mobile. This is the unboxing and my initial thoughts. So be sure to leave questions in the comments. I'll be sure to either answer them in the comments or answer them in my next video as well. I hope you guys stay tuned, and if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Leave this video a like, as it really does help me out, and stay tuned for more coverage here and on XDA TV, where I'll be doing some comparisons as well. I'll catch you guys in the next one.